It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live on WBON TV and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse and join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
And will quickly penalize misconduct. We encourage and appreciate your help. Please remove your hats and stand for our playing of our national anthem.
We'll get into the stuff tonight. We got a lot to talk about. Live here at Madison Southern for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you. And Samantha, the reason we're here tonight, there's a big region, 11th region volleyball game taking place here between Dunbar and Madison Southern. Southern, of course, winning the district tournament last week against Madison Central, so they are hosting the first round game. The semifinals and the finals will be over at Berea, so Southern doesn't have to go very far if they do happen to advance tonight. Now, we're going to have some cut-ins from the game this evening. We're not going to be showing the entire thing because we do have the sports show on Monday nights. We wanted to come over here, show some love to these girls, so they've been doing so good. I've had such a good year. So we'll be doing some cut-ins for the game tonight as we go on the air through 7 o'clock, and then when the sports show is over with, we'll finish up with the end of the volleyball contest this evening.
I think these girls are just so, not only are they appreciative to have won back-to-back, district titles, but how excited must they be to be able to be playing?
Yeah.
This is an indoor sport. There are talks all over the state of Kentucky about basketball, of course. That's our next big indoor money-making sport, and how they're worried about how we're going to make this happen. So they need to take some cues off of this volleyball, these girls' volleyball teams, and how they're doing their matches and able to play.
Well, you look, it's a very strange time, obviously. It's not been a normal year. We were going to hear from Mark Sanders here in just a few moments with the Madison Central football team who lost to Bryan Station. But they have had a season. They've had a successful season. And as we go through the sports show tonight and finish out this volleyball game later on, we'll see if the Lady Eagles can move on in the 11th region tournament.
Do you feel like you're a pro at girls volleyball now? This is what, your
fifth or sixth game I've done over the last 2 or 3 years. I wouldn't say a pro, but I've learned a lot.
You know the terminology now.
I've learned a lot from Janet Thacker, of course, who's the head coach over at Caudle. She's taught me everything that I do know, which isn't a whole lot, but what I do know she has taught me. While this game is going on, again, Austin's going to be flipping back and forth. We're going to have some of the coverage for you. We do want to talk about some high school football from Friday night. Of course, Madison Central on the road at Bryan Station. Just a ridiculous night over in Lexington. You had a lot of lightning in the area as we came on the air, and then they eventually had a 54-minute rain delay with about 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. So a 54-minute lightning delay. You bring the two teams back out. They play, they might have been on the field for 10 minutes, as the Bryan Station got another touchdown. Central had a 3-and-out. And then you had a punt return by Station. They run a couple of plays. First half comes to an end. They send the two teams back to the locker room, and everybody up in the press box is like, why are we going back to the locker room for? We just had a 54-minute lightning delay with the two teams in the locker room.
Right.
We've only been back out here for 10 minutes or so let's just, let's come back out and play the third quarter. So what they end up doing is having another lightning delay, and then they eventually just go ahead and call it with Madison Central falling 21-0. It was an ugly game. I mean, McCaleb Coffey, the quarterback for Bryan Station's a really good quarterback. He was picked off twice, one by Travion Parks, which was a nice interception. I think it's his second on the year for Parks. But you look at this Central football team, and, again, struggling on offense. Defense plays well, got a couple of interceptions.
West even had an interception, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Jaden West had one as well. So those two guys have both, that's their second picks of the year for each guy. And the offense is still a little bit behind. So we've got to find a way to fix that as we go into another tough matchup with Southwestern. And then you turn your attention to Madison Southern. So it doesn't get any easier for Madison Central.
No, and this season, obviously, what are they? They're 1-5.
Yeah.
This is not going the way they had planned it.
No,
I mean,
obviously it's been a year you want to forget, but you lose the teammate in Manny Pruitt in the
right,
offseason.
there's where I was going.
Then
they had so much emotion on that Thursday night when they had that Pruitt
the
gathering,
celebration of life. Yep.
Right, and then on that Friday they beat Lafayette. That is the only game they have won.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 2 years, their only wins coming against Lafayette. But you look out there, I mean, the talent is there. It's frustrating as a fan because you know that they have the talent out there to succeed.
Right.
It's just not being put together. And
I'm very excited to hear your interview with Coach Centers because you have to wonder what he's thinking. You know that he's worried about possibly losing some of his coordinators or even possibly struggling with other people on his team. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to get rid of me? Even I'd be thinking that.
Well, I think what Coach is trying to keep everything, hush.
Positive.
Exactly. He's trying to keep everything tight-knit, get his guys figured out, and only worry about his team. Whatever's going on outside that locker room, you can't worry about it.
Right.
And that's what Coach Centers is doing. He is a professional. You won't beat you won't find a nicer guy than Mark Centers.
I completely agree. And they've had so many successful seasons, and that's why we're expecting more from them.
And I think the frustration not only lies within the team, but the fans and the parents as well, who know that they've got it out there.
That's
right. They just haven't been able to put it together. And one thing that he has been continuing to say is, Mike, we're close. I mean, we're close. We're right there. We just have to do it. Well, they haven't been able to do it thus far.
Right.
Let's hear from Mark Centers, the head football coach of the Madison Central Indians, following their tough loss against Bryan Station.
One of those crazy nights, Madison Central on the road at Bryan Station Friday, and Coach, a 54-minute lightning delay. Then you come back out and you play the 4 minutes that was left in the second quarter in a monsoon, basically, and then you go back in the locker room, and they never let you come back out. Talk about the frustration of that and how hard it is to get your guys ramped up to get going again after such a long delay.
Well, imagine something crazy happening after what we've been experiencing the last year and a half or so. It's hard to believe one more crazy thing could happen, but it was definitely the whole night from start to finish. I mean, it was. Even in the pregame before we ever went over there, there were some games in Lexington that ended up getting canceled and postponed, and there had been a lot of talk all week long between Coach Hawkins and myself. He kept checking, I guess worried about COVID cancellation and all those different things, but we were committed to play, and it's a delicate balance, man. It's between giving our kids an opportunity to compete and then all the safety pieces that are out there and in place. And, I mean, you could see lightning in the distance, the cloud lightning in the distance even before the game, and the radar wasn't looking really good. But, the on-site management and the way that goes with the home team and the home team trainer and I guess administration being in control, we were able to start. But, we've had our share of rain delays and things like that over the course of the years, but it seemed particularly, unique on Friday night. But it's frustrating for the kids. It's like, none of us wanted to go home, at least in that manner, but at the end of the day, we'll be seeing them again here in a few weeks, and we'll hopefully have a little something to prove.
Well, you look at the game Friday night. I mean, offensively, you can't get anything going, but it's coming down the range ridiculous. But defensively, you're able to pick off Michaela Coffey twice. He's a great quarterback. So does that give you some confidence knowing that your defense can play well against them when you do face them in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, I feel like so. We obviously feel like our defense has the ability to get after people, and they've done a good job at that. A couple of picks and different things. They made a phenomenal play down the left sideline where the kid gets. I don't know. I was asking for offensive pass interference on play, but those things, how that goes.
Yeah.
You can ask all you want, you might not get it, but the touchdown that they got down the left sideline was longer one, and that again, I felt like we were in decent shape on that. We got burned a little bit, but he recovered. But then, we gave them the ball in good field position, and that's how they got the other scores. So definitely, we feel like we can get after them defensively, and hopefully get another chance to prove that here in a few weeks. But we've got to be able to do some things on the offensive side of the ball to give ourselves a threat and give ourselves a chance as well.
Got Southwestern back at home this week, and one positive thing about 2020 is all these home games. You've had a lot of chance to be at home with your guys and be able to play in front of the limited home crowd. But Southwestern's another good football team. It doesn't get any easier for you guys. They finally had their first loss this past week. So what kind of what can we expect from the game on Friday night against a good Southwestern team?
Yeah, they're another solid team. I mean, every team we play pretty darn good. They seem to favor the power game a little bit. They will spread it out, but they seem to favor the power game a little bit. And certainly, it looks like when they need it, they'll pack it in and go power. And that seems to be their MO for sure. Like I say, they opened up and played well against the schedule that they've had. The first few games were pretty close. They played Clark County at home early in the year, and they were able to pull out a win. But watching that, I actually got a chance to watch that film online, and there were at least 2, maybe 3 long touchdowns from Clark County called back in that game. And the game itself, as it played out, when I looked at the score, I thought, man, that's pretty impressive. But then when you look at the game and see how it played out, and that game could went the other way. Clark could have easily won that game with just one of those long touchdowns, let alone 2 or 3 of them getting called back. But I've got a lot of respect for the program down at Southwestern. They do a good job with their guys, and their kids play hard. And for us, it's another opportunity to compete, another opportunity to try to get a little momentum going and right the ship. And but it comes down to our kids being willing to compete and play hard and try to get this thing going so that we can get a little momentum here at the end of the year.
You got Southern, the final week of the season, so don't want to look ahead too far, but how important is it for you guys to finish strong and get your team some confidence as you head into the postseason here in a few weeks?
Well, I mean, it's obviously important any year, but I'll just be honest with you, with all that these guys have been through and with everything, you can't really single out one specific thing, but obviously there have been many things that these guys have went through, but there've also been some major things that they went through. And, I'm just so proud of these kids for the perseverance and the character that they have shown in terms of that and continuing to come to work every day and continuing to try to get better and continuing to have positive attitudes and in the face of all sorts of adversity. And I'm just really, really proud of them. I think it says a lot to the testament of our kids. I think it says a lot to what type of young men that they are, that they just continue to show up and they continue to come to work and they continue, to play hard and fight for each other. And, you know, I mean, there's ups and downs and peaks and valleys, no question about it. And you know, some days are better than others, but, you know, that sounds a whole lot like life to me. And, you know, I think any year trying to get a little bit of momentum going into playoff time is important. But for these guys, I just think that just a little bit of success will go a really long way in helping them get over the hump and get back to, you know, hey, you know, we're all right. We are not nearly as bad a football team as perhaps some folks want to let on to us to be. But at that same time, I'm fully aware that, you know, we need to win some games, and we need to continue to fight and continue going in the right direction. But, you know, whatever that direction may be. But, you know, I love these kids. I love these coaches. I'm proud of them. I couldn't be any more proud of them, especially when you look at all that they've been through and all that they've done. And, you know, I just think a little bit of success would go a long, long way with these young men. And I think it would really help them get over the hump and kind of get past this and almost get the monkey off your back, if you want to use that terminology. But I just really think a little bit of success would go a long way with these guys, and I sure am hoping that we can keep fighting and keep going, because it's out there.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time, my man. Good luck this Friday as you all take on Southwestern. We will be there on WBON TV for that game as the Indians try to get off the schneid in the big game Friday night against Southwestern. Coach, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man.
So Mark Centers and his team still staying positive, Samantha, turning their attention to Southwestern and just trying to focus on football. We are going to show some of the game here, the volleyball game between Madison Southern and Dunbar.
It's close.
It's 18-12 right now in favor of Dunbar in the first set. So,
and like you just mentioned, Dunbar is playing with the mask on.
We were and you know, I've done against this. I think I've done 3 volleyball games this year. It's the first time I've seen either team wear a mask while out there playing, and Dunbar wearing it while they're out there playing.
Yeah.
So you can never be too cautious with this virus, you know.
Exactly.
And I appreciate what they are doing here as they lead 19-12 in the first set over Madison Southern. And
they're they're pumped too. It's going back and
Yeah.
forth. Dunbar has had the lead, I think, the entire game, us sitting here talking, plus me trying to watch it. But it's gotten much closer. Dunbar had a much bigger lead earlier.
Yeah, and now up by 8 again as Macy Daniels is called for the palm ball there. Appreciate you hanging out with us, folks. As number 11 for Dunbar, that is McDowell, back to serve it up, and she'll get the ace. Like that, Samantha, showing you off my knowledge there.
Yeah, because, see, I have to admit, I don't know enough about volleyball. I enjoy watching it. I enjoyed playing it while I was in high school, like, you know, in gym class when they would say, all right, you're going to learn volleyball.
Another ace by McDowell, and it's a 22-12 lead here in the first set for Paul Luntz Dunbar over Madison Southern, who was the district champion, hosting here in the first round of the 11th Region Tournament. McDowell again, and the Lady Eagles get it over. Back and forth action we go, is setting it up for the kill, and a good job by Combs to get it back over, but it'll be a net, and it'll be another point for Dunbar. 23-12 here in the first set. We're going to keep it right here until this set is over with. Yeah, there is some fans
here. If you want to come to this game.
I'm not sure how many seats they have left available, but you could try to come over here. If you can't make it, we'll be cutting in and out during the sports show here tonight. Another point for Dunbar. It's now 24-12, and this will be a set point for the Lady Dogs.
They go to 25.
McDowell back to serve yet again here in the first set, trying to close it out for Dunbar. Going to be a kill attempt for St. John of Southern. Now setting it up. Southern getting it back over. St. John again, and that'll be a point for Southern.
See, and I get excited. I'm just going to keep clapping. I love it.
21-13.
Did you say 21? 24.
24-13, yeah, 24.
I was like, I know I'm squinting trying to see it.
And that'll be the first set in favor of Dunbar. First set is over. Dunbar wins 25-13. We are live here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, folks. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, John Clark, the head football coach here at Madison Southern, will stop in. He'll talk to us about how his team dealt with the bye week this past week, and we'll preview the Boyle County game.
They got a big game
Madison
Friday.
Southern. It's going to be a tough one. We'll hear from John Clark when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today, with no payments for 6 months and low rates. There's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today, with no payments for 6 months and low rates. There's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here. Samantha, no game this past week for Madison Southern. They were on a bye week, yet they were still crowned the district champions as Collins lost another game, back-to-back losses for them. This time is to Woodford County, and Southern, even on their bye week, crowned district champs, and a big deal for John Clark and the Eagles.
That is a big deal, because 2 weeks ago when we were at the game, we thought they were going to be a 2 seed going in, but ended up, because Collins, they ended up being a 1 seed. So how exciting is that? Good for them. They're going to need that extra week of practice to play this 5-0 Boyle County team.
Yeah, Boyle County is a great football team, a great tradition, a great program over there, and now their first-year head coach, Justin Haddix, just continuing that tradition right along. He had such a great career starting at Perry County Central, then he moved over to Corbin, had them in the state championship game. Now he is at Boyle County, and Justin Haddix, a great football coach, has that tradition, or has that football program right back where they've always been.
They have a great quarterback over there. He likes to rush it. He likes to throw it.
We talked about John Clark's quarterback, Cole Carpenter, his stepson. Talked about him in the interview. And we talked about everything that's been going on with this team in the bye week. Let's hear from the head coach of the Eagles, John Clark. No game for John Clark and the Eagles this past Friday, yet they were crowned district champs. Coach Collins loses back-to-back games, and it allows you and the team to be crowned district champions yet again. Talk about what that means for you and the team heading into the playoffs here in a few weeks.
Well, I think it sounds cooler than it is, where they've switched the format of all this. To me, we're not really district champs till we win in the playoffs. So we're not going to celebrate this too soon.
Well, having a bye week came at a good time, I feel like. Even though you guys were playing well, get a chance to regroup, get ready for a very good Boyle County team. What did you guys do last week, on a bye week? Did you take it easy? Did you do some extra things? Or just talk about how practice was last week.
So we had several things. We considered picking up a game actually at one point, but one of my coaches had a parent pass away last weekend, so we felt, and then just some other health issues that were going on with some people, so we felt it was best for the whole team to take the week. And we practiced 3 days, cleaned up some stuff, worked on some things that we haven't had a chance to put in yet that we were hoping to have gotten to already, because we're a little behind on things from where we typically would be with COVID. So that's what we did. Got after it pretty good on Tuesday. Thursday, kind of took it easy on them physically and just cleaned up some stuff.
When you're playing the way your team is, would you have preferred to keep playing and just keep this train rolling along, or were you happy with having the bye week?
I mean, to me, it just is what it is. I mean, either way, we were fine. Like I said, we've really talked about picking up a game, and we're kind of talking about it there for a little while. Just some things happened that we felt like it'd be better for everybody if we press pause for a little bit, but I don't think it either way. I think we're fine. Wasn't bad, wasn't good. We're pretty focused right now, and I think we're playing pretty good too.
As you look ahead to Boyle County, you know how good that program has been, that team has been for it seems like forever now. They've had such a good long run now with the new head coach. What is the game plan going in against them on Friday night?
Well, I'll tell you what, we can't be scared of getting off the bus. And I think that's one of the biggest things is I feel like sometimes when you play teams like Boyle and Cove Catholic and some of these bigger programs, I think sometimes you let them win the game before you even show up. But they're a very good football team, extremely well coached. But at the same time, like, we play the game for a reason. So a couple things is they don't make mistakes. They're very sound on both sides of the ball. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So we need to minimize mistakes. When you do make a mistake, they make you pay for it. They capitalize on your mistakes. So we've got to play a more mistake-free game and to give ourselves a chance to be in the game.
When you never look too far ahead, but you got Madison Central in a couple of weeks as well. How important is it to your team to keep this momentum going as you head into the playoffs in a few weeks?
I think it's really important, but I think everybody also is realistic. Like, we play a very good opponent this week. Nobody's looking ahead. We haven't had a conversation about any other game than Boyle right now, which is something I really like about my team. We're taking them as they come, rather than looking ahead at anybody. After we play Boyle, we'll look at the next week's opponent. But until then, we've got a monster of a game coming up Friday.
This is going to be a big challenge for Cole. And he's right there with you all the time. What have you and him been talking about as you lead up to the game Friday?
It stood out to him pretty quickly is just how sound they are on defense. They don't give you a lot of anything. And he noticed that right away. He said they're always where they're supposed to be. They don't take false steps on defense. They rally to the ball well. They play in between receivers. So I think it's kind of fun to see the maturity of him at the position this year. Earlier in the year, he wouldn't have noticed those things, but he's definitely picking up on the things we're seeing as far as, if you make a mistake, what mistakes will they make you pay for? Throwing the ball late is something this team will make you pay for. Trying to make a late play is they're going to have a guy in the window whether you see him or not. So just being really crisp with his pre-snap reads, also being decisive, and then protecting the football. And he's picked up on those things pretty fast.
With it being the crazy year that it's been, and you talked about the playoffs being a little bit different and everything else, what would it mean for your team to, considering, how the preseason was and how long the off season was, what would it mean for you guys to make another deep playoff run and try to give the fans something to cheer about and be excited about? Because we've seen these numbers rise again here in the last couple of weeks, and we know the holidays are around the corner, but what would it mean for your guys, especially in this year, to do once again what you've done so often here in the last few years?
I mean, it's their expectation. It's our expectation. We talked about that the other day, is how, every week I have an alumni been doing a virtual message to the kids. And they were, the message last week came from Tobias Storm, and he talked about how, it's, just being the best team in the district's not what we're after anymore. There's a bigger picture here now, and it's being the best team you can be at the right time to be it. And that's what we're chasing. And I feel like the some of the better players are starting to become more dialed in than I feel like we've had in the past. They're starting to realize, like, hey, if we're on, we're pretty good. So, what if we're really on against the really good teams? Like, what could this mean for us? I think some of that thought process is starting to happen, and it was a little slower start. I wanted us to have that thought process earlier, but it is coming along, and I can see that in the way they're preparing.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, my man. I know you guys are busy. Good luck this week on the road against Boyle County, and we'll see you. We'll be over there on the radio this Friday night. We'll be back over there with you guys next Friday when you take on Central.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Tough test for the Eagles on the road at Boyle County. Should be a good game, and we know that this Eagles team, they're not getting the credit they deserve, I feel like, statewide from these, Courier Journal, the Lexington Herald Leader that does these rankings for high school football. John Clark and his football team are playing very well. They're getting great play from their quarterback, even though he's a young kid, still trying to figure out the position. They've got playmakers all over the field on both sides of the ball, so I feel like they're being taken for granted because of that 0-2 start that they had, but they are rolling right now, and they head into a tough matchup this Friday night.
Yeah, they like to throw it to Luke. I'm going to say his name, Shepperson, I believe. Man, is he good. He went 39 yards on 2 catches. I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, that's good. And then Eli Glasscock, 37 yards just on 1. So he likes to throw it. He likes to run it. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a true test because this matchup the week after, like you said, coaches don't like to look too far in advance. The Central Southern game is always good. If Central – it seems like Madison, even though Central may not have the team that we were expecting this year, they usually win that game because Madison Southern typically gets nervous, and Coach talks about that.
He said that right there. He said we can't get off the bus and be scared of them because we've already given them the game, so we got to come out with confidence. And I would expect this game to be high scoring. This game could be a game where the winning team is up in the high 30s, maybe low 40s, and the Eagles have a good defense. Boyle County has a good offense, and I think Southern knows they've got to score to keep this game close.
Yeah,
it'll be a good one Friday night.
No mistakes. They're not going to be able to have any turnovers. And Carpenter's going to have to throw the ball, and it's going to have to be quick.
Yeah, so if we get Walter Smith and Jonah Farnstrom and Jay Sean Etheridge out in some space and had those guys make some plays. It is a 14-9 lead for Dunbar here in the second set.
I know we've been sitting here watching this game. It's pretty exciting.
Dunbar leads right now 1-0 over Southern here in the first round of the 11th region tournament. We've got another commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll get right back to the action here between Dunbar and Madison Southern and the first round of the 11th region volleyball tournament on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kopudek, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today. With no payments for 6 months and low rates. There's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today. With no payments for 6 months and low rates. There's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
We're live here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. It is here in the second set, a 16-13 lead.
Southern's coming back.
Yeah, Southern's trying to battle it back here after a tough
Lady
loss in the
Eagles.
first set, 25-13. Here they are in the second set, down 17-13. So we're glad to have you along here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Going to show some of this game here in this third segment before we head off. In the fourth segment, we'll have an interview from Walt Wells and Dakota Allen from the EKU game after they pull off a big upset win over Central Arkansas. But Samantha, we're looking at high school volleyball. You see the fans in the stands with their masks on, and we appreciate Austin doing what he does here on the sports show as well. But it's one of those just a weird time to be a sports fan when you come in. You got to wear your mask, whether you're going to the grocery store, the gas station. And we've seen this virus, it is spiking right now, and it scares people. I don't like to talk about the virus itself a whole lot because, you hear about it enough on the news and everything else. We're trying to keep this as positive as we can.
Right.
But it's just a weird, strange
I really have
time.
Mixed emotions about it all. I really do. I understand the mask mandate and trying to be safe, but at this point, they're saying it's not working wearing the mask. So, and then do you still get a flu shot? Because if we're all wearing masks, do you really need a flu shot?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to get one.
I got mine already. I got my
You
flu
did.
shot last week. So here in the second set, it is Dunbar 19, Madison Southern 13. The way you win the match is by winning 3 sets. So if Dunbar wins this one, they'll only need one more set to win this match here tonight versus Madison Southern on the road.
Right.
And you would think it would be an advantage for Southern, but so far Dunbar's playing well. And Southern looks like they did in the first game I did with Madison Central, that Mad Pink game.
Yes.
Southern looks a little bit lackadaisical right now. Don't be surprised if Coach Grant gets fired up a little bit at some point.
I'm waiting on
Got
it
the
like
red
he
card
did.
like we did in that first
in the
match. So we'll
district
see what
tournament.
how it transpires over this next set.
Now, the winner goes on Wednesday.
Yep,
Plays at Berea
semifinals.
Community. They're hosting over there. So there we go. They're catching back up. So this match is much closer than the first set.
Yeah, Madison Central is playing Great Crossing tonight. That game won't start until 7 o'clock. Tates Creek is facing Bryan Station. And then we've got Henry Clay, Western Hills, and then, of course, Southern and Dunbar here. The semifinals, again, will be on the 28th at 5:30 and 8 o'clock over at Berea. And then we'll have the championships at 7 o'clock over at Berea on Thursday night. So
Madison Central just played Great Crossing and lost to them about 2 weeks ago almost. So that was a really good game. But it was in Georgetown, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yep,
so it's back in Georgetown again tonight.
19-17 your score here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. And appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Jaden Johnson, our radio producer. Austin Hanks, our TV producer this evening. And a nice block by Bingham. Bingham and St. John are so good on that front line for Southern, but there's another point on a kill by number 16 from Dunbar.
I don't need the mic in front of me while watching this volleyball
Celebrating.
game because
You're
I'm
cheering them on.
celebrating, and then I get, and then I'm like, oh, I'm making noises, grunt noises, because I'm just rooting for Southern so badly.
The freshman Delaney Gash got the kill there for Dunbar, and that's going to be a palm. And this official, when we were doing the Southern Central game, this official called those so close, paying attention to if you actually kind of palm the ball whenever you set somebody up as the setter. Here's Atkins. And St. John, again, hitting it into the ground on her side. It'll be 22-17 Dunbar here in the second set. Here in the second set, again, a 22-17 lead. We got one more commercial break coming up, and we'll have the end of this game following the sports show. So keep it tuned right here. We're going to have some interviews with Walt Wells and Dakota Allen following the big win for EKU from this past Saturday over number 11.
Pretty exciting.
Central Arkansas. Yeah.
Junior quarterback, right?
Yeah, and Allen comes in, and Dakota Allen gets hurt.
Well.
Parker McKinney gets hurt.
McKinney gets hurt.
So Allen comes in and played very well.
Right before halftime, something like that. Yeah, I didn't get to go to the game, but.
And EKU had a lead pretty much the entire game, gave it up, and was still able to come from behind in the final seconds to defeat the number 11 team in the nation, Central Arkansas.
Which is completely opposite of the week before.
Yeah.
You know, this ended in the right direction.
Cardinals got the big win.
And homecoming at that.
We'll talk more about that when we come back. It's 23-18 here in the second set. St. John serving it for the Lady Eagles. Now it is going to be set point for Dunbar. And we'll keep it right here until this set is over with. See if Dunbar can pull it out or if Southern can come back. It's really hard to come back in volleyball in a set when you're down by this many and the other team only needs 1 point to win the set. So we'll see as number 7 for Dunbar drops back to serve. That is Hannah Adams, the senior. Adams with the serve, and the Lady Eagles get it over the net. Now she goes back up to set up for the kill. Great job as Combs will set it up for Atkins. Dunbar will get it back over. And the kill attempt will be a point for Dunbar. They win the second set 25-18, and they lead 2-0 here in the match. We'll take another commercial break when we come back, talking about the Colonels of EKU after their big win on Saturday on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kokudet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today. With no payments for 6 months and low rates. There's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Get the money you need now. Apply for a home equity line of credit at Cumberland Valley National Bank today. With no payments for 6 months and low rates, there's never been a better time to tap into your home's equity.
It's Chevy Truck Month. It's Deck Building Month. It's Toy Hauling Month. It's Explore New Ground Month. It's the month to get things done. Make it your own and make every month Chevy Truck Month.
Get $4,500 cash allowance on all 2020 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
EKU got a huge win on Saturday over the number 11 team in the nation, Central Arkansas, back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha, before we get into talking about EKU, all kinds of great deals over at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and the Blazer that they just sold that was yours. And
I know it. I have to come out of them so quickly. It's crazy.
Well, it's good though. You said they sold 8 cars on the way over the weekend.
Yeah, I think Saturday morning.
It's pretty good day for the car folks over there.
It was a very good day.
And that's one thing that I think, and everybody that talks to me, why should we go over to Jack Burford Chevrolet? Well, you're going to deal with a salesman that is going to get to know you. They're going to talk to you. It's not just, well, let me get you in this car and get you out of here. They're going to go through the process with you. They're going to take care of you. They're going to show you how to use your your Sirius XM radio or
your navigation.
Yeah, I mean they'll go through everything with you.
Because it's not easy. You got a truck, you know what it's like. You're sitting there pushing buttons.
Because vehicles nowadays have more buttons than you know what to do with.
That's
I mean,
exactly
so they will tell you what each and every single thing means. And
take the time to do it.
Exactly. And you got to appreciate that.
If you don't understand, you come back like a week later or a couple days later. They'll show you again.
Well, I just bought my truck over there. It was a used Silverado from 2017. And JJ, the salesman that I dealt with, texted me and said, hey, he texted me, 2 months after I bought the truck, just this past week. Hey, the previous owner brought the dividers up from the seat if you want to come pick those up. So, they didn't have to do that. They could have just, been done with them and been like, hey, we don't have to deal with him anymore. But they didn't. They take care of you over there. It's a continued process over at Jack Burford Chevrolet.
I will tell my husband. He will be very
So just because the vehicle is sold to you doesn't mean that they are done. If you have any questions, you can just head on over there to Jack Burford Chevrolet, and they'll take good care of you. Going back to the EKU win, though, Samantha, what a job the Colonels football team did as they knocked off a really good team in Central Arkansas. And you have to appreciate what EKU has done this year. They dropped out of the OVC for this season because there was no guarantee that there was going to be a spring year.
Right.
So what they did is they said, you know what, we're going to find some games for here in the fall. We'll have our season. We'll get it in. All these guys can come back next year. So it doesn't matter if you play one game or all 8 games for the Colonels this year. You can come back next season and have your year of eligibility left. And the way this team is playing right now, they almost beat Troy on the road 2 weeks ago.
It was close.
They
came down to the last.
Yeah, they were 30-point underdogs in that game.
Yeah.
Then you knock off the number 11 team in the nation, Central Arkansas, when your starting quarterback, who's been playing really well, goes down with an injury. So you have to appreciate what Wells and what this staff has done. And I think if you look back at it now, you have to believe that this hire by EKU of bringing Walt Wells back into this program was 1,000,000% the right hire. And this guy knows how to coach football. He's an old school guy. He does not accept losing, and he wants to be here.
I think it's pretty exciting. It was homecoming. So what a better way to do it.
Made this win even more important.
It did. The weather was definitely football season weather. And to think that the quarterback got injured, you just had to have another guy step up. It was when you get that opportunity, you have to take it. And he did. He scored right as soon as he got the ball.
He did. And you have to appreciate what this program is doing right now. Looking back after that big win over Central Arkansas, let's hear from the head coach of the Colonels, Dakota Allen, and another player here for EKU as they celebrate after knocking off Central Arkansas.
It's a statement is what you guys are looking for. Well, obviously great win, and it's great to get a win. It's great for the players who played their butts off and came back, and I never saw them waver with 1 minute and I think it was 26 seconds left to go or whatever it was. I never even saw a head go down. I never saw any disbelief. Really pleased with the way they're coming along and embracing what we're trying to do and embracing the fact that you have to win. Our coaching staff did an amazing job. They kept them in the game. They kept coaching despite my screw-ups, and I appreciate them. They're a really good group of men that are really good coaches, and I feel great about it. And glad for the Colonel fans to get a homecoming win. I think it's important for them to get that. I know they're used to that, and it was important for us to be able to give that to them. UCA is a really, really good football team, as you saw. Top 10 team, I believe it. And that's a really good victory for us. We get to go try it again in 2 weeks, and I'm sure they'll be ready to go, or 3 weeks, or whenever it is. I don't even know when it is, but we go there, and so we're looking forward to that. But right now we're going to enjoy this for 24 hours and then get ready for open week. So with that, I'll open it up and take any questions.
Kind of reversal last week. 21 seconds and they took advantage, so I'm sure when they punched it in, you guys probably said, hey, we had minutes, that's plenty of time.
That's right. That's right. Well, with our offense and explosive as we can be at times, and our receivers and our quarterbacks and our offensive line, and our backs, I felt good about it. We had to get going. I think Dak, finally got his feet going a little bit. They dropped 8, which gave him a chance to scramble and get some things going. Obviously, the 2 penalties were huge and helped us out big time. But we had some that hurt us throughout the game. So I think that's just part of the game. And then for him to find Wilcox in the corner, on that last or second, could have been second last play, was a great job by them. And their belief, as you see the season going, has just been going and going and going because, you know, we didn't have spring ball. We didn't have a normalcy to get to know each other. So I'm really happy for them and happy for our staff.
Burford was that right before the half. You guys come out, to be quite honest, you guys looked a little lost offensively and defensively. You had to call a timeout to get in position right defensively. I mean, what the heck kind of haywire there when you came out?
Well, I just think it's focus. You know, you're up 2 scores. You know, and it's like I told them at halftime. Hey, if we end the game up 2 scores, it's no big deal, right? We're winning, and we had some things we went over and we tried to accomplish, and we came out and the focus wasn't there that needed to be there. There's nothing that we saw in halftime that we thought led to that. Had some miscommunication on the defense's part when that happened, and then you know anytime you have a new quarterback come in, you get new defenses. And we had to settle down and figure out what they were trying to do to us. And we figured it out. We found out that, you know, they were going to bring a little more pressure than what they had been bringing, and different pressures. They went 0 blitz on the scoring drive a couple times, and we handled it, and we ran the ball, picked it up, and did some good things there on that scoring drive. So I think, you know, offensively that's what happened. And you got to understand, they're used to hearing Parker's commands, Parker's cadence, Parker's everything. And then now all of a sudden you come in with Dak. Dak's a good football player. We knew he had that in him. And the best thing about Dak is he prepared that away every week. He's been waiting his chance, and he got his chance.
You guys seem to keep up with the lead the whole time. I mean, how would that help you guys? I mean, even at the end when they got ahead of you 4 points, you had like a minute 25 left. I mean, what was your mind?
Well, we just knew we had 2 timeouts. We had to play situational football, and we had to get down and go into our 1-minute situations and get down the field. And Andy did a great job of mixing in the plays, and you know, Trent does a great job of going through the call sheet with each quarterback from 1 to 4 and making sure they know, you know, because you never know when you're going to get to who you're going to get to, and so to make sure they were comfortable with what we were calling. And so with Dak, that's what we went to. We went to his call sheet and just went through it. And you know, it comes down to execution. The plays are plays. It comes down to execution, and those men in that locker room did a great job of doing that. Appreciate you. Thank you.
I really can't even describe it. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, Parker, he went down, and that's my guy. And I just had to step in and go do what I know how to do. And like I said, I don't think it's hit me yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just think it's a lot of emotion because our team's built with a lot of emotion. So we always strive to give energy, be passionate, and be like for each other. And when Parker went down, we looked in Deck's eyes, and he already knew what time it was. So just the amount of like leadership that we have on this team to just bring each other up, and just the passion that we have for each other, it's still remarkable how that came.
You got some hard yards running, and then you got hit late a couple times, but those were another big, huge mistakes that they made. I mean, really, it's just undisciplined on their part, and they obviously helped you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a little rough on you.
It's rough. I'm sure I'll feel it tomorrow, but right now I really don't feel it. We won. It's the most important thing, and that's what we're trying to build with our culture. And ever since Coach Wells got here, we, that's been expect to win. That's been the motto. So I think we really showed up tonight and picked up our brothers and played for each other, which is the most important thing that we need to do, continuing forward.
I was saying there with Coach, the second half came out, and all of a sudden things were really kind of disjointed and kind of off track. Kind of what do you point to kind of happen there at the beginning of the second half that kind of seemed everything was kind of a little out of sorts?
Yeah, we came out and we kind of got a little threw a couple coverages out there that we kind of wasn't really too fond about, but ultimately we had to get each other back up, and we just tried, and we knew that if they scored, we was gonna score back. So it was like, I understand that we like had a little coverage break, but it was just, I guess it was just in our minds. But,
I think it was the third down. Were you the one that got through and got the guy in the backfield?
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge spot because they had the momentum going. They had to punt there. If they would have gone down and scored, they would have taken the lead.
Yeah. And it was a perfect call when they motioned over. We called a different call, and it changed my position in there and routing, and my speed just got me back there to make the play. So it was all about the communication that my Mike linebacker, Caleb Lundy, he gave to me. So, yeah.
Last play, man.
Last play, I knew we had to go to the end zone. We run out of time. O-line, first I'm going to start there because they played their butts off tonight. They gave me the time I needed, and Matt ran a really good route, and I just put it up there for him and let him go be a playmaker like he is. And after that, it was a little chaotic. But, I mean, like I said, I just want to give all props to the O-line and the whole team and
coaching staff, all that.
We really took a big step forward today, and I think that's really important for this team going forward.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, going to focus on this game now, Samantha, as Dunbar pulling away here in the third set, 20-9, and back to serve for Dunbar. That's number 7. Is your roster pulled up here? Appreciate you hanging out with us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Southern trying to battle back here in the third set. That will be a kill by St. John as they get this lead down to 20-10. It has been all all Dunbar here in all 3 sets.
It has been. Southern had a run back in the second set, but it has been all Dunbar in this set. It is amazing that they are wearing their masks, too.
That would bother me out there trying to play with it on, but credit to these young ladies for what they're doing. So here we go with Bingham. Another great block by Dunbar, and they'll get another point, 21-10. Here the third set. Southern, of course, the district champion, hosting this game.
They need some strong moves right here. They're ready. Do they look tired? I don't think so.
I think they just need to wait, try to get going a little bit, get a little momentum, try to put a run together.
I agree.
Bingham will get the point here as she gets the kill. Dunbar just so much size and athleticism up front as Jay Simmons makes his way over.
They seem just as energized as they did at the beginning of the game. So that's why I yell.
St. John's, nice effort, but another point for Dunbar, 22-11, as we welcome in the athletic director here at Madison Southern, Jay Simmons. And Jay, I know it's been a crazy year for you and everybody here at Southern, but this Lady Eagles volleyball team trying to pull one out here in the third set.
Yeah, they're working hard. It's a different animal when you start to bring these Lexington schools in. Like that last year when we went up there in the semifinal round, it was crazy, the intensity and just the level of competition, how it goes up, especially in basketball or volleyball around here. It's a different world. Like Dunbar, Henry Clay, all these teams are ranked in the top 10 volleyball within the state, and they're all next door neighbors, so it's kind of crazy.
And Madison Southern had a better record. They were 15-2 during all this, where Dunbar was 12-7.
Jeremy, Coach Grant has talked all year about this group and how they're, very versatile.
Yeah.
Like they got a lot of different people that step up at different times. Like last year, it seemed to be a lot of Sarah and Alyssa that are moved on playing at EKU and Marshall and stuff. And this group is, they got a lot of people on the back line that do stuff. He subs the people in, and they come in, play their role, and do a great job with it. It's been a good year. Hopefully we can keep Coach Grant from trying to retire. He keeps getting attached to groups, and so he keeps coming back. So I keep trying to convince him of that every year. So since I've been AD anyway, I don't want him going anywhere.
We keep thinking that he's going to get fired up again here in a minute and get a red card like he did in the district tournament.
Set point here. It's also match point as Dunbar tries to finish it off here, the third set.
it's always entertaining to watch Coach Grant get upset or he get emotional about anything because he never said, you can't ever tell.
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, I would never want to play him in poker.
Especially with his mask on, right?
Yeah, he's got the mask on.
You know, Jay, talk about how hard it is being an AD right now with this pandemic going on. And, you know, it's not just, you know, being here for the game. You've got a lot more that goes into setting up and being there and making sure everything is handled properly.
Well, they definitely didn't teach us a class in pandemics. You know, Mr. Tackett, Julian Tackett has said that multiple times. And, you know, it's all learning on the fly and learning what you need to do and thinking about things that you normally don't think about, like, you know, who's got to be here and temperature checks and running out of batteries and making this announcement and putting tape on chairs, you know, things that are just, it's just different.
Now, how many people were allowed to come to the game tonight?
We gave each team 3 tickets per player, which would have been about 45 for Dunbar, 45 for us, and then like administrative passes and stuff like that. So I don't think we quite got to that, but we're about 80, I think, is what our total number was of spectators, and that's not counting your, you know, kids, players, coaches, and stuff like that, you all being up here. So we had about 80-something paid people that came to the game.
What's it going to be like for basketball? Kind of the same thing for basketball?
It's very different. Me and Coach Newton have went round and round with this. Coach Curtis is a little bit newer, so he hadn't, you know, he's still kind of adjusting. He's just ready to play and, you know, get his first varsity head coaching. But Coach Newton's, you know, he's on me about, you know, how many people we going to get in, what we going to do, what we do this.
Because they want a crowd.
Yeah, if you came to any of our games last year,
it was crazy. Great atmosphere for every game.
Yeah, you guys gave away TVs and all kinds of gifts.
And a lot of that's Coach Newton. He's pretty good with that stuff, and he gets his boosters involved. I mean, coming from EKU, like I wouldn't ever tell him this, and hopefully he's not listening. But
he's down there.
Yeah, but he teaches me some things about, you know, hey, won't you go try this or do this? I mean, we ended up getting kids, like 3 or 4 different games, we gave them chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had chicken fingers out there in the stands for
I remember.
and we're feeding them. And we let our kids in for cheaper. Like I said, let's try to see what we can help. And we only put $2 for students to get in, and which made it better. Like, we had a good student section.
Oh, you did, yep.
Coach Newton has got that picture in his office.
Yeah, I just saw that earlier.
Our Trinity game. I mean, and our student section was like that for boys basketball all the time. Like, it felt like most of the year. So it was entertaining. But to get back to your question, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked through this, and Austin makes fun of me a lot because he'll tell Summer walking down the hallways, like, Jay's stressing out about this. He's like, you're going to have to go down there and calm him down. And it's like I go through about 15 different scenarios of what we can do and what we can't, because KHAA, you know, they put out guidelines and we try to follow them. And it's like, you know, they counting if you start counting your players, which is 15 on each side, and we can only have so many people on one side of the floor just to our capacity, right. You know, it starts to limit you.
Yeah.
It really starts to limit what you can do. And so, you know, we went in, me and Mr. Ray asked Austin, like, will your parents listen to us? It's like, we can squeeze more people in here if you'll let us
do it the right way.
And doing it the right way. But if you just come in and you let people sit wherever, you know, it's going to be different.
Well, there's even some middle school games that Michael's been doing, Austin and Gage's been doing, the producers, but I'm not going because it's
limited
one person.
fans.
We're limited, and I'd rather a parent go than me go, you know?
And that's the big thing. It's like some schools, not very many, have just opened it up to open ticket sales. And it's like whenever we met as a district with me and Mr. Cooksey and Mr. Neely, they're like, no, it's like we want, you know, the parents to be there.
Yeah.
They deserve the right to be there, and they should.
Yeah.
And so trying to open it up, and then, you know, a student section, they can't help but to want to be, you know, around each other. They want to be close. They want to hang out. That's high school.
Right.
So,
it's not, and that's what I think the hardest part about all this is, especially for seniors. You know, you're not going to get the last run with the team. You're not going to be able to do your normal cheering, and, you know, even walking through the hallways as a senior in high school is weird right now because you got to wear your mask, you got to socially distance, and you're not with everybody that you're normally with because the classes are kind of staggered out. So it's a strange year for everybody. But I tell you what, you guys and even the folks over at Central are doing a great job with it. I don't think I've ever talked to you and Cooksey as much as I have this year because of everything that's going on with it. And trying to make sure that the folks that would like to get in are still able to see the games, and trying to do more ourselves to help you all out. It's a crazy year, and we're hoping that it's over with very soon. But at this rate,
right.
with the numbers going up the way they are, we don't know what's going on.
So it's going to be entertaining, and it's like day by day. Nathan from the Register just came by and said they had to postpone like a state field hockey tournament, and I said with basketball and the rapid fire, boom, 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 how many games you'll have to play in a week is going to be, wild. Like, if we got 7 home games in a week, like between freshmen, JV, it's going to be crazy, and super lucky if we can make it all the way through without some sort of delay for some portion of time.
Have they discussed about doing a bubble or anything like they do? I don't like, could you do like a 3 or 4 team bubble and each team play each other?
That would be nice, but I don't know how we could ever pull it. If they want to send us off to Disney World, I'm all about it.
Well, I know Summer and the girls would like that.
Doing like they did in the NBA, like Summer pack up right now and we'd be gone. Like
I'm there.
If they wanted to send me down there for 3 months, I'm good. I'll shake hands with Mickey every day, and it don't bother me.
Well, and it's probably going to get very stressful because with COVID, your guys,
it's been that way.
You may have to start getting schedules and changes each week.
Oh, I've been down there talking about archery with our assistant archery coach, trying to figure out, how you can do that. It's like an archery tournament. You bring in like 40 kids at one point in time shooting at a target, and then they're used to having people and booths set up outside as a fundraiser. And then it's just can't do some of that stuff.
Right.
You can't have kids shooting archery and them 6 feet away from each other. Not that it's not kind of dangerous anyway with bow and arrow, but it's like all these events, it's just different things that you don't normally think about. Oh, probably can't do that. And it's like you got to have a way for them to come out and then exit and then stagger your times to come in. It's like to schedule Dunbar to get here. It's like they're supposed to be here at 5 o'clock, check them in, check temperatures, and then our team gets here at 4:45. And it's like doing that for every sport. It gets time consuming, and a lot of organization that
it's never ending.
Yeah, it is, but it's part of it. The kids do a lot better than the adults, which they're great with it. I have not had one kid that's argued about taking a temperature. If I ask them to pull their mask up, whatever, they've been great. Our kids are good. They know what's expected.
Right.
Whenever we started SOAR camp back in June, July, whenever it was, they were great about it. They never said anything. We had kids that were come out in the heat and they were throwing up in their mask, bless their heart, and they wouldn't take them off because they were afraid they'd get in trouble.
Well, even then, I mean, you didn't even know you was going to get to play.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they just want to play.
And they just want to be around each other more than anything. Like that's the big thing about sports that I wish, all kids, I encourage I was like, I don't care if you're good, bad. I was like, but it's an opportunity to go be around people and be a good person, and the rest will figure it out. If you love a sport, you'll end up being good at it. And if you love it, you're going to have fun doing it. So
that's true.
Wise words from Jay Simmons right there, folks.
I can't imagine what your girls will end up playing. They have a whole plethora.
I hope if it's basketball, they get it from their mom, because Jay was out here trying to guard me, and it was bad for him.
I don't believe that at all.
How bad a shape were we in on that game?
I don't know. I couldn't run up and down the court 3 or 4 times right now.
Oh my gosh! But listen here, Jay. I appreciate you taking care of us every time we come over here, my man. We'll be back over here next Friday. Big football game, obviously, Central and Southern, and you all got a tough football game this Friday with Bull County as well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Coach Clark's out there working. It looks like a miserable day to be outside. I wish we had a Nutter field house like UK has, and they could have been inside doing that. I might have went out there and watched them a little while. But they were out there going through their same stuff, and Coach Clark does a good job with the routine of what they do every day as far as their kids, when they check in and what they're doing. And they followed it for months on end.
Yeah.
And right now it's working out for him. Like, he's doing a good job with it, and, it'll be nice to get Central in here. It'll be nice to see where we're at with Bull County. They're always good, so watching our district matchups will be kind of entertaining because it's up in the air who will end up playing, with Collins with 2 losses, and then Woodford's got a couple more games, and West has got one, so there's no telling who we might end up playing. So which makes it exciting, gives us something to watch and watch and look for.
Folks, that's Jay Simmons, the AD here at Madison Southern. Dunbar wins in 3 sets over Madison Southern here tonight. And look how quickly, they also showed look how quickly they got this thing cleaned up. I mean, you guys, that's again, you got to get it done that quick because of all the COVID stuff, right?
Yeah, well, that's the goal. They're not supposed to hang out. We were supposed to be making announcements for them to get out quick. We do it at football games and soccer games. They get tired of us coming over the PA, which is a problem.
You're welcome for us getting you out of that tonight.
No, I appreciate
for hanging out with us.
So now Madison Central, their game started at 7.
At 7, yeah.
So wishing them the best of luck, volleyball.
All right, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, my man. Folks, that's for hanging out with us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show tonight. For Jay Simmons, myself, Michael Watkins, and Samantha Burford. Our radio producer, Jaden Johnson. He is Austin Hanks. We'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.